Hello and welcome back, everyone. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. We have David Piatek joining us from VA Housing Education. So if you're not subscribed to his YouTube channel, you need to go over and subscribe to his YouTube channel, VA Housing Education. He is the #1 source on YouTube as it pertains to VA home loans. David, I know you're in the northern Midwest. I hope
Yes.
you were able to put your snow blower up. It's no longer needed. I was thinking about that last night.
Thanks for thinking of me. I appreciate it, Dwayne. No, the snowblower, you know what? I don't think I even used it this year, which was sad because I do like the snow, but yeah, it just sits there collecting dust right now.
All right. So we're going to jump right into today's topic. And today's topic is do not call the wrong VA number, 800 number. David, I don't know about you. I get questions, especially family members. Somebody will call me and say, "Oh, yeah, I know your cousin, and they told me to give you a call, and I got a question about this." And I'm like, I never worked in that department. I don't know anything about it. And they're like, "Well, you work for the VA, and the VA is huge.
Huge. Yep.
And different departments have different numbers. So you have to understand which VA number to call." So, David, you're a subject matter expert or guru or that guy on VA home loans.
Yes,
So
sir.
if a veteran has questions about VA home loans and they want to contact not a mortgage company, anything like that, but the VA to ask questions about just VA home loan criteria, whatever. Who do they
Yep.
need to call within the VA, Department of Veterans
So,
Affairs?
so I would say still call me first because the VA doesn't do VA loans. And that's a huge misconception, number one. Okay. And that's a balancing act. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. Why would you call the VA, right? So you can actually call the VA Regional Loan Center, right? So their number to be able to get a hold of them is 877-827-3702. And I'm going to drop a link down below with all the contact information for the VA. Now, the VA Regional Loan Center has its own number. You don't call there if you're trying to file for VA disability, but if it's mortgage related as a whole, right? So, am I eligible for my VA home loan? I have underwriting questions for the VA. I have an appraisal question from the VA for the VA. I'm having problems with my mortgage payment. You call that same number. Um, it's open to consumers, okay? Because a lot of times people, Dwayne, would be like, "Oh, I can't call them because they're like, I'm not a lender." Yeah, you can. It's actually, I would say that they're one of the, from personal experience only, okay? They're one of the better services the VA has because their people are pretty knowledgeable. Like when I call, like they know what they're talking about for the most part,
Mm.
okay? And one of the nice things that you can do, because a lot of veterans want things in writing, right? We want things that we want proof. And sometimes I know from VA disability side, that might be a little bit tough, but the VA does have a service now portal where you could submit questions or things about your loan to them so you can get that back. And I have a whole video around just the contact information, how to do the ServiceNow portal, how to utilize it, how to leverage it, so you can position yourself better in that perspective.
So when I worked at the VA, David, in the region office I worked at, I'm pretty sure they have these, and I don't know if they have them in all the region office, but they had a department called loan home loan guarantee.
Yep.
Are you familiar with that? Is that the same?
Yeah, so this is the
Department?
number. So yeah,
Okay.
so this is the whole number to them. But before, what they used to have is all these separate offices, right? For Denver, Houston, Phoenix, Roanoke, St. Paul, St. Petersburg, all these types of, they had different phone numbers for them. And it confused people because you'd call one and then they'd be like, "Well, let me transfer you to another." Now what they did is they've centralized the whole piece, which I think in a way is better. But then if you have a question in your region, then they're going to transfer you to that regional loan center that they can help you for your area because they know that area and
Right.
they have jurisdiction in that area. So again, It's like home buying process, questions on it. But the VA doesn't do loans. So what they're going to tell you to do is to go back and talk with a lender to help you originate that VA home loan. And that is something that I can help you with. And you could schedule a call with me in the description down below. Um, because it's just like then we can go over your financial picture and everything else that you're trying to do. Because the VA, it's like, they have a VA handbook, like they have one for VA disability, right? uh and you really have to understand how to read that, interpret it, and yeah, it's right back there. And yeah, this I should actually print out the VA handbook, but I don't want to kill all these trees. It's like 616 pages plus hundreds of pages of VA circulars that they exist. So there'd be a lot of trees to take down for this book.
Right.
And then also you can't keyword search it like you can online. So that's one of the
Wow.
benefits of at least reaching out to the VA, because they help you with a ton of stuff, right? There's specially adapted housing grants if you're a disabled veteran. Utilize those things because they are underutilized by veterans. And there's a lot of veterans that still disqualify themselves from using the VA loan. Only 13% of veterans have used the VA home loan. And because I talk with a lot of people, and they're like, no, I didn't use it. I don't need it. But there's so many hacks that come with it that you should utilize. And that's what we do on the channel. So Dwayne, and I
Wow.
know this, you're doing this video because I have a feeling when I was talking to you about, I was reaching out for understanding my VA benefits, I called the wrong number. And now I have the right number, and I'm still waiting for my like additional VA benefits, like the 12 months. So if you guys don't know, if you exhausted your GA benefits, there's some additional benefits you can get now depending on your situation. Um, so yeah, so it's just like, yeah, it was just kind of ironic that like we do this every day, and I got the wrong number when I was calling. So
Yeah.
take it away, Dwayne.
Yeah. So, on the benefits or just the VA in general, in a webinar that I do monthly where I'm telling people, hey, this is what I do, this is what I don't do as a consulting company, and this is how you work with me, because I believe the misconception is all VA claims consulting companies are the same, charge the same, and it's just not true. It is just not true. And I'll get asked a question. They'll say, somebody asked me the other day, Dwayne, I need to reschedule my MRI. Well, call that department and reschedule it. Well, they would start asking me, I'm like, I never worked on the healthcare side. And so in that webinar where I tell people about what I do, what I don't do, I cover, I have a slide where I talk about how the VA is broken up. You got the NCA, National Cemetery Administration. You have VHA, Veterans Healthcare Administration, which covers all the VA medical centers, vet centers, outpatient clinics. And then you have VBA, Veterans Benefit Administration. What you have underneath that is home loan guarantee, voc rehab, GI Bill, education, GI Bill, insurance, compensation, and then the pension. All these departments, they have different numbers. And like you said, some of them are regional. So you may call and get directed to your region. Outpatient clinics. I have one less than 5 miles from my house. They have outpatient clinics in California.
Yep.
Total different number. So you have My VA 411. You have family members, caregivers, veterans, survivors can call that number and get their questions answered. You have VA benefits hotline. Now, if you're talking about VA compensation claims, 800-827-1000, 800-827-1000. And I just did a video on it. We're going to edit it. Like what questions to ask when you call that number and what questions not to ask. And veterans have a tendency, what's the status of my claim? They're going to give you a generic answer.
Yeah,
It's
they
being
do.
worked in the order received. Do not add, they're not raters. They don't, but then I give some questions, specific questions that you can ask that they can answer and they'll be shocked. So just understand, one, what answers are you looking for? Because then that's going to determine the 800 number you call. They even have numbers on the healthcare side, VA Health Benefits Hotline, 877-222-8387. And these hours, they would shock me going back to the VBA hotline for compensation. They're open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. But it's crazy because I saw on another somewhere else on the website when I was doing the research, it said 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. So I'm like, okay, that's conflicting. They had it from like, I think
Yep.
6 a.m. to 10 p.m. But if you call at 8 a.m., you should be good. But I tell people, don't call right at 8 p.m. Start dialing at 7:58 or 7:59 because if you call too early, they're going to say they're not open. But you want to hit that sweet spot so you get in the queue and you get in there
Yep.
early. Okay. So then you got the 800 number for the health benefits hotline. You got the GI Bill hotline. So this number that I think you said you would be calling because you got questions about,
Yep.
you know,
Yep. I called the
yeah,
wrong number.
yeah, the
Well, I
GI
mean,
Bill.
well, if you call the wrong number, then you're like playing this phone tag game, and then like you get hung up on because they're trying to
Yep,
transfer it. So then it just creates more frustration at the end of the day, right? So taking a
right,
little time out to be like, hey, who do I got to call? Just cuts down on anger and frustration on that. And just one side piece, yeah, the VA is actually open from 8 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, which is a pretty big time. And normally, like you said, Dwayne, calling first thing in the morning, that's pretty easy. That's like the smart thing to do to cut down on wait times. But I know the home loan guarantee doesn't really have that much,
right.
that not much of a lag on getting responses or like getting through to somebody. That's what our experience is.
Because people, they don't, a lot of people, I'm pretty sure they don't know, but they should know now after watching this video. And
But don't
so,
call too much now because then I'm not going to be able to get a hold of them. So let's
they
just
like,
take it easy.
David Piatek told me to call. I got a
Yeah,
question.
they're
Yeah.
gonna call me now.
Yeah. So then you have the National Call Center for Homeless Veterans, and that's 24/7. They staff that as of right now. That could change. I know a lot of people are losing their jobs. They lost their jobs. They got hired back. So don't be surprised. We're talking about these times that could change in the future. But when you go to VA's website, that's the best place to get the updated information. And then they have My Healthy Vet Help Desk, which is different. So you got the website, My Healthy Vet, where you can go cancel appointments. You can email your examiners, pull, download progress reports. So that's different. This is the technical. Technical side. So if you're having issues with that website, it's My Healthy Vet Help Desk. If you call the 800 number for the Veterans Healthcare Administration and you say, hey, I got some technical problems, guess where they're going to transfer you? To My Healthy Vet Help Desk. Okay. And then they got hours. They say 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I believe in, if you got an error, try you're trying to reach any of these numbers, 7:58, 7:59, 7:58. If they say, hey, we're not open yet, call right back and just keep doing it until you get in the queue. Because if not, sometimes they have some long wait times and they have a little animated voice. You are caller number 1469. Maybe. You may be in the queue, caller number 12, and then they'll come back 5 minutes later. You're caller number 12. Call back 10 minutes later. You still call number 12. So to negate that, make sure you call in a little bit earlier. So, Dave, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I think we gave the viewers a lot of good information about
For
understanding
sure.
who you need to call. So I give you the final words. Let's take us out. Any hot topic or quick pro tip on VA home loan?
I'll tell you what, don't disqualify yourself when using the V home loan. Reach out to me so at least we can walk you through what options exist. And guess what? If you're not ready now, it's cool, right? At some point, you're going to be ready, just like everybody else. It takes time and planning, budgeting, and having credit. So don't disqualify yourself. Reach out and just make sure if you do have questions about, let's say, the VA home loan outside of getting the actual loan, you can always reach out to the VA. And just make sure you call the right number, unlike myself, when it comes to the benefits.
And Dan, I just want to touch on something what you said. And I always tell people, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Don't
Yeah, I
wait.
like that.
Yeah, don't wait to file that application for a home loan and figure out, oh, wait a minute, I got 10 credit cards. They all got a max balance of $50,000 and they're all maxed out and only make $60,000 a year, you can't figure out
Right.
why you don't qualify for a home. So you want to, like you said, you want to take care of things beforehand, have the conversation with you, talk about a few things. So you say, okay, you know what, Dave, I'm not ready. I think I will be in 6 months, 12 months, or something like that. And on this last note, make sure you check us out every second Wednesday of every month. We do go live and we answer questions. We may not be able to get through all of them. Make sure you get in there at 7 p.m., maybe a little bit earlier. Type your question in so we can answer it. With that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.